Adolfo, welcome, as always, to TRT World. You're a Republican. What do you make of President Joe Biden and is coming up now to 100 days in office?
Well, the first 100 days are off from a Republican standpoint to a very bad start. You have to remember that this president ran as a uniter, and he's done anything but unite the country. His rhetoric has been divisive. He's attacked the Republican Party, said it might not be around in a couple of years. He's certainly attacked the Trump supporters very vociferously. So all the polling in America shows two things. The country extremely divided, just as divided as before. But more importantly, his approval rating hovers just over 50%, is really remarkably low for a U.S. president 100 days in, historic lows. Barack Obama had 80% approval, for example. So he's off to a bad start. Frankly, I think the only achievement he's had in 100 days is a border crisis of his creation, where surges of border migrants have increased by 900% as compared to March of last year, 1,000 a day. The coronavirus and the vaccines were all warp speed in President Trump's plans that he's just executed. So I don't think it's been much of an achievement. And lastly, on the bills you referenced, sadly, the COVID relief bill had only 9% of that huge $1.5 trillion package. Only 9% had to do with COVID. The rest was bailout to Democrat states and other liberal wish lists. Same thing holds for infrastructure. So we as Republicans are extremely disappointed and have been cut out of the entire process by this president.
Are Republicans in Congress making life difficult for him? I mean, that infrastructure package hasn't gone through yet. Negotiations continue. But didn't President Donald Trump have some similar idea to spend trillions of dollars on infrastructure? Everybody knows how it gets an economy going again, at least provides some kind of stimulus for workers.
Yes, that's true. President Trump didn't have any cooperation from the Democrats, but the Biden infrastructure plan has only 7% of the resources are for bridges and roads and so forth. When the American people are polled, are you for infrastructure? I say yes, everyone is for it. But 93% of the funds have nothing to do with traditional infrastructure. Now, they have ample majorities in the Congress. They have majority in the House and in the Senate. Obviously, the opposition party, I think, needs to be brought into negotiations. But I will say this. Conservative Democrats, such as Senator Manchin, a Democrat of West Virginia, have also voiced concerns about this level of spending. And so has Senator Kristen Sinema of Arizona, a Democrat. So there's bipartisan concerns about this very liberal spending spree. Look, there's no mistake about it. Biden is a hostage of the ultra-left that is now dominating that party and moving it increasingly to the left of the socialist agenda. And they're trying to do it in a hurry before the 22 elections.
Adolfo, internationally, America's long-standing allies, they seem to be much more comfortable with President Joe Biden than the belligerence, the almost bullying that they were suffering at the hands of President Donald Trump. I mean, let's forget about America's long-standing enemies, the Russians and the Chinese, being treated in roughly a similar way, shall we say, both presidents being quite harsh on them. Whatever people say about Donald Trump being kind of friendly with Vladimir Putin, there's no doubt that in terms of sanctions, the Trump presidency did take action against Moscow. But America's allies seem to be happier with the President Joe Biden than they were with the previous incumbent.
Well, it depends what allies. The allies that have been receiving a free ride or a discount from the American people in terms of their security, particularly in Europe and some countries in Asia, are actually happier with an America last versus than an America first strategy. I'm not sure if you ask our allies in the Middle East, particularly Israel and the Gulf states and Saudi Arabia, that they're particularly happy with this president with respect to his capitulation to Iran, for example. So it depends on the allies that you're talking about. But you're absolutely right. This president is set upon a globalist strategy and not an America first strategy. I think that's always been problematic to try to get disparate issues come to conciliation with our allies. But absolutely, this president has signaled, I think, a weakness from the United States, is not prepared to take strong action unilaterally. Iran understood it. China understood it. They see this as a weak president.
Adolfo, thank you so much indeed. Really appreciate it. Adolfo Franco, Republican strategist there in the American capital.